Washington Ukrainian Humanitarian Center has gone through an amazing journey. This journey started with the horrors of the war and in the first days following the invasion, in which everyone, both Ukrainian and Americans and beyond our parish, have come, and there's a big wave of generosity and support. Then we enter, after about 2 years, the donations decline significantly. That's when the humanitarian team really mobilized through concerts, to visiting different bazaars, having table to sell Ukrainian gifts, connecting with great partners like St. Andrew, the Lutheran Church, our next door neighbor, the St. John of Norwood in Bethesda, a fantastic community and so charitable. They have done so many projects with us. We have collaborated with IFC and the World Bank groups, and different members of the team have specific roles.
We have a lot of dedicated people working here, and all of us 100% are working here unpaid. We come here after work. Most of us have day jobs, and this is, I tell my colleagues and my friends and my family, this is my second job. I come here after work on weekends or take time off.
Ми сьогодні організовуємо вже вдруге наш базар. Всі виручені кошти підуть на потреби українців.
So this year, our Humanitarian Center completed a few major projects. We have a few in progress, hoping to accomplish by the end of the year. One of the biggest accomplishments for us was sending a 40 square foot container to Ukraine. It's filled with humanitarian aid, medical supplies.
Нещодавно наш гуманітарний центр закупив майже 500 турнікетів від української фірми «Січ» для допомоги нашим воїнам. Це лише один з проєктів, що ми зробили цього місяця. Може, не такі велетенські, але, як то кажуть, маленької допомоги не буває. Україна страшенно потребує нашу допомогу. І хоча ми далеко від неї, але наші серця, звичайно, б'ються з Україною. І її майбутнє залежить від кожного з нас. І лише разом ми переможемо.
Our Humanitarian Center organizes various fundraising concerts featuring Ukrainian singers. For example, today we have Kazakh Sirmaha performance. It's not only about raising funds to support Ukraine, but also we would like to share the rich and beautiful Ukrainian culture with our local community.
Наш гуманітарний центр проводить багато майстер-класів та воркшопів, щоб людям було цікаво знайомитися з нашою українською спадщиною.
Our primary purpose within the county is to help support Marines and Navy personnel who has retired or have gotten out. But we also are involved in the community as well. People of Ukraine are part of our community, and it's important for us to help support them. And we've been doing so for many years now.
St. Andrew's Ukrainian Orthodox Cathedral and the Lutheran Church of St. Andrew are two churches, two faith cultures, 2 blocks apart, but we share the name of St. Andrew. And we also share a mutual purpose and mutual support.
We understand what the Ukrainian military is going through.
Until Ukrainian families gonna waking up not from alarm clock, but waking up from Iranian drones bombing our cities, there gonna be no peace in Ukraine. Until every Ukrainian children gonna wake up in the morning and go to school, including those 20,000 of young kids that was illegally displaced to Russia, basically kidnapped. That is a dirty war. That is a dirty fight. It's unacceptable. And until that happens, there's gonna be no peace in Ukraine. Until all those women that was raped in Bucha gonna wake up knowing that there is a proper justice, and all those murderers and rapers are sitting in jail, there's gonna be no peace in Ukraine. Until every Sunday, me personally and my family gonna come to those churches that I loved, that are destroyed by Russian rockets, destroyed by Russian artillery, until all those churches will be rebuilt by confiscated Russian assets, there's gonna be no peace in Ukraine.
After the horrific invasion of Ukraine by an aggressive Russia, the deacon of St. John's Episcopal Church here, Norwood Parish, of which I am a member, and I joined together to create what we call the Ukrainian Support Group Ministry.
We thought the invasion of Ukraine by Russia was a world-changing event. We were, as most Americans, extremely impressed with the resistance of Ukraine and their desire to have their own country that was both democratic and independent.
For me, when the invasion happened, I was horrified, I was shocked, and I started donating from that moment. When the tanks crossed the border and we heard about it, it was horrifying.
I also have been so impressed and amazed with the courage of the Ukrainian people and the fact that they've held out for this long against the evil neighbor. It's impressive, it's inspirational, and I am committed to continuing to support Ukraine as long as it's necessary.
America has always been the beacon of democracy in the world. But now I get my inspiration from Ukraine. Ukraine is literally putting their lives on the line, giving up their lives for their country and for democracy.
So this is not just about war, it's about how a democracy survives under the most extreme circumstances. And Ukraine is showing the U.S. what it takes to be and remain a democratic country.
I studied international relations, and I was already familiar with the 1994 Budapest Memorandum, where Ukraine gave up willingly the third largest nuclear arsenal in the world. And in exchange, they were promised that the United States and the United Kingdom would help protect them. Russia obviously violated the agreement that they had reached, and I feel as an American that we have a responsibility to do everything that we can to support the Ukrainians, who at this time are protecting many of the other countries of Eastern Europe, are protecting countries in NATO.
I thought we'd never see something like this in my lifetime after what Europe and the United States went through in World War II. And so it was a shock. Ukraine is a sovereign nation, and their borders should not be violated. Mm-hmm. And if we don't stop this and work with them, it won't be the last invasion in Europe.
It was really hard to watch the news, and sometimes when I feel like helpless, when it's difficult to watch the headlines and learn about the invasion, having an opportunity to help felt really good.
There's so much about the war that's really horrifying, and being aware of the thousands of children that have been abducted by Russia.
Our first effort was to support Ukrainian media. That was our immediate source of direct information about Ukraine, and we felt they were a much needed voice, not just within Ukraine, but in the world.
The best news comes from
Ukraine.
Yeah.
I think if we don't support them, then we're failing as human beings, because what they are facing is beyond description. So I just felt a moral obligation to not only start, but to continue.
I think people want to know why you're doing this and why it matters. I think Ukraine is becoming more and more relevant as an example of the importance of citizen participation in preserving and fighting for democracy, something that people here in the U.S. care deeply about as well. Freedom and democracy is not something that's permanent. It's something that you have to constantly become re-engaged in.
We have started working with the Humanitarian Center shortly after the war began, and we have been bringing in supplies every month for over 3 years now.
We are thankful for the wonderful partnership that we've had with St. Andrew Ukrainian Orthodox Cathedral. In the last 3.5 years, we have raised almost $100,000 for the people of Ukraine from everything from an ambulance to medical equipment, neonatal equipment, classroom rebuilding, hospital room renovations, even Halloween candy. I would be remiss if I didn't really put first and foremost a tremendous thank you to Sandy Stoyanovich, and I have to commend her for her tremendous personal generosity on behalf of Ukraine. We really must applaud and recognize the courage and the sacrifice that the Ukrainian people have made, and we have to dedicate ourselves to continuing everything that we can do to fight with them and for them.
There had been a recent bombing at a hospital, children's hospital, and there was a need for neonatal units that had been destroyed in that attack. And so that was the first specific effort we were aware of. The interesting part about the way the aid works here is it's direct to Ukraine, it's immediate. What we particularly appreciate, in numerous cases we will get a picture back, or in some cases we actually got thank you notes that were written very quickly. So you know the money is going there, it's being used exactly what it was intended for, and people are grateful.
It's about united action. Together we've mobilized volunteers, delivered vital supplies, and offered hope to those affected by the crisis in Ukraine.
The fact that St. Andrews has such a robust program to help, and it does it in such an incredibly efficient and effective way, made this whole process even better, because you felt that it was really being done right and that the aid was really reaching the people who needed it.
It's important that Ukraine knows that American people, it's not just government, but the people care and want to do things that can help and make a difference.
So please join us as we continue to make a difference.
We were neighbors, now we're friends.
We will be with you, we support you, and we will not forget you.
We love you, we support you, we admire you, and Slava Ukraina.
Americans care about you, they care about the fight, they're willing to help, and we wish for peace in the future.
Be strong, have faith. Many of us here in the United States are with you.
Slava Ukraini. God bless them and God bless America.
На світанні в садок із росою, а може дощем на поріг упаду. Голубко, не плач, так судилося ненько. Вже слово, матусю, не буде моїм. Прийду і попрошуся в сон твій тихенько, розкажу, як мається в домі.